What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey Sour Libations and Conversations. It's your girl, Dom. And today we have a special guest. And I know I always say that, but this person is very special and near and dear to my heart because I might have seen him grow up. His daddy might be my first cousin. And I might have broke into his daddy's room a lot as a child to play video games and got cussed out every day when he got home from work and wherever the hell he was at. Please welcome to the show my baby cousin, who's not a baby no more. Oh my God. He has kids of his own. Oh my God. Oh my God. Welcome to the stage, Joshua Lovings. Oh my God.
What's
That's
going
weird to
on?
say aloud. That
Say
is
that
so
again.
weird that you have children. I feel like
Yeah,
you're still a baby.
yeah. It's still a little new to me too. Sometimes I wake up and I think about it. I'm like, damn, I am somebody's daddy. Two people's daddy actually. So
Two people's okay.
yeah. So
Two people's daddy. That's
yep.
a lot.
Two little girls.
Two little girls. They're what? How many? They like a year apart. Two
Three
a
three
year, a
weeks.
couple months.
3 weeks.
Couple weeks. Joshua.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
See now. See, I. We ain't raise you. You know what? We're not doing that today. We're
You
not
live
doing
and you
that.
learn. You live and you
Listen.
learn.
I didn't realize it was that. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
So Joshua is also a podcaster. He's a big podcaster. He has live shows with his homeboys, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to talk about your show, Reason to
hmm
Doubt. It's like four. It's four of y'all, right?
It's five total. Yep. It's
Oh,
it's
okay,
it's a main co-host and four a main co-host and then a main host and then four co-hosts. Yep,
okay,
so it's five of us. A lot of sometimes it's hard getting five people together. It's on schedule a lot, so sometimes a lot of our shows is four people, but it is
okay.
five of us. So there's me. I go by Juice on the show. Then you got KD, you got Joe Jack, Jay Sims, who is the host, and then you got DJ Stino, which Stino is like the Swiss Army knife because when we do our live shows, he actually DJs and he's a part of the conversation. So we kind of
Oh,
got a
okay.
built-in DJ into our whole situation and things like that. So yeah, but Reason to Doubt podcast is the podcast name. We've been shooting for 5 years now, and we finally starting to see some traction and things like that to getting to where we want to be. Um, we're about let's say we have five live shows. All of them are sold out. We just recently did one at the City Winery in St. Louis, which was a huge thing for us because the first three shows were like shows where we basically quote unquote booked ourselves. You know what I mean? We got the
Okay.
venue, sold the tickets ourselves and things like that. That City Winery show was the first show in which we were actually booked by a venue. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And it was on us to show up and perform. And we did that. Got some very good feedback. So now we're trying to figure out something with the City Winery because there's other locations around the United States. So trying to figure out a little tour situation.
Okay. So tell
Yeah.
everybody what your podcast is about.
Yeah, so our podcast, we really mainly based as a hip hop podcast,
Okay.
but we also talk sports, guy talk, um, urban conversations, whatever's going on in the world at the time. I normally just tell people anything except for politics. Politics is the one thing we kind of stay away from that a little bit. But other
Okay.
than that, any given Sunday, because we shoot on Sundays, we down to talk about anything.
So God talk is politics.
In a way, in a way, you could
In
say
a-
that.
and I say it's politics just because of some of the conversation surrounding gender wars and whatnot.
Uh huh.
Uh huh. And
So
there's the smile. There's the smile. There
how
it
you
is.
feel about that? So what's your
For me, honestly, it's using a little bit of the it's like using your brains, using discernment. And
mm,
for myself, this is one of three podcasts that I do. I have one that actually that's coming out at the end of the month, and it's a sex podcast, but
Oh wow.
we'll get into it in a second. But I will say, being, like formerly media trained, my degree is in broadcasting.
Hmm.
It's being able to discern what is kind of clickbaity and what is divisive amongst our peers and our group of, like people that look like us, Black people.
Hmm.
And for me, it is what I see a lot of times is some people wanting to be heard and
Yeah.
like also be seen.
Hmm.
And the internet allows space for that. But also I think there are a lot of people that are angry, uh that should go to therapy and talk about it, get a counselor or something,
Yeah.
and to let go of that hate.
Uh-huh.
And then there's some people that don't know their roles and who they are as a person and how to stay in their lane.
Uh-huh.
Because, for example, when we talk about the conversation surrounding maybe, Clay and Meg, or Sierra, Future, and Russell, which
Uh-huh.
I got in a whole argument with, I almost said Channing Tatum, but Channing from the podcast with the Pivot podcast
Oh, the
about
pivot,
that.
yeah. I love
Yeah.
that stuff.
And because Channing says a lot of off the cuff stuff, and I'm like, people don't think before they speak, and he's one of those people. But I think that it's a
I
lot.
agree with a lot of stuff that Channing say though.
You do?
I do. Now it
You know,
depends on what you're talking about in
yeah,
particular.
yeah, it depends. So like his thing when he made a statement surrounding like, oh, like when him getting signed going to the league and kind of being outside but always wrapping up.
Yeah,
Smart. That's
yeah,
smart. But maybe some other stuff, I'd be like, bruh,
yeah.
what? But I will
Hmm.
say this. I will say this. I think that sometimes people say things and have ideas about women in particular when I'm trying to word this properly where it doesn't sound like harsh and mean. But the reality is that you would never date or pull a woman like that. You would never. You guys also will probably never cross paths. So
Right.
while you're like lusting after this person or find yourself attracted to this person, in your reality that you could never pull this person. So you trick your mind
To
into
say that
think
there's something wrong with her.
yeah, that to exactly. So
Okay.
that's how I feel when it comes to a lot of the conversation, and also allowing women and some men to have the opportunity to like learn from their mistakes and grow. And I feel like the conversation surrounding Sierra in particular is simply, yo, like I've dated the traditional rapper nigga. I've done this, I've done that. This doesn't work for me. So
Yeah.
now I have the opportunity to switch up and date somebody else. And then it's this whole thing about,
Him being lame.
yeah. And it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But if he like this my lane.
Yeah. But see, the thing is, like, so I know Channing got a lot of flack about that.
He sure
But
did. And I felt
it's
like I
like,
got singled out. I felt like I got singled out, but I handled myself well. And
yeah,
then I
and
also
I
called him
mean,
corny.
yeah. So it's just like I feel as though it's like a two-way street.
Okay.
Like I would have not got on my platform or any other platform and necessarily called him lame, but I understand what Channing was trying to say. I don't think it came out exactly how he, maybe in his head, because it was just a simple fact of like he's looking at it from, you look at it like, okay, when I hang with this dude, and I think he said that like I wouldn't hang with that dude, and I think it's a kind of like me being I'm 28 now, so when
Whew.
I was 21,
Shh.
oh sorry, that make you feel old.
Yeah, that made you age me. Continue.
So now my whole perspective on what lame is different. You feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? So whereas back in high school, middle school, you call people lame and you just that means you just thought they were lame. But now being an adult, being in the real world, you realize that lames is just a terminology based on a popularity thing. And when you grown, popularity means nothing. You know what I mean? Because I realized a lot of the most popular people, they had the least going on. You know what I mean? And then we living in a world nowadays where everything is like aesthetics. Aesthetically, you can make anything look good. And then when you get to digging into people's real lives, it ain't what you think it is. So I just think him calling Russell Wilson lame was just his way of saying like she shouldn't be with that kind of dude. But it's like, how can you tell somebody who they should be with? You feel what I'm saying?
Okay. No, okay. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Right? So I think we're on the same page because I'm like, why isn't that person
Mm,
deserving of a safe space to have a partner that provides that safety, that security for them, that to provide them with love? Why
yeah,
isn't Sierra deserving of that, or a Meg, simply because of their previous dating patterns? And it's not like these women are outside. Like, okay, this week I got this boyfriend, next week I got this boyfriend, and the week after I had this different
yeah.
boyfriend. And even if
Meg though,
no, 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 no. Who do we
man.
publicly know that she dated outside of Party and Clay that she actually claimed? And Moneybag, when they first kind of started to pop, they was dating.
I feel like you claiming somebody as soon as you go out in public with.
Okay, but I'm
'Cause how
asking.
many people?
But
How many
here's
men
my
have we
question.
seen?
Okay, okay.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: why is it different for women versus men? You have the floor.
Because it's a double standard.
Okay,
And
so
I feel as though I'm probably get some flack for this, but I feel like double standards are okay. I feel like there are certain things that men should be able to do that women shouldn't do.
okay, so explain that. You have to be able to back that up and give me facts.
Because men, we ooh, I don't want to say this for real, but
Say it, say it,
we
say it.
we was put on this earth to deal with women in a certain way to where women should not be dealing with men in that same situation. Like y'all need to be more selective. Y'all need to be more sacred. Like that's what I believe when it comes to men and women, and that's a
So
double standard.
that is a double standard. Okay, so why is it that women are required to manage ourselves better,
Hmm.
and it's okay for men to have poor dick management? Because
Because
what you just said was women should have better pussy management, is what you
yes,
essentially said. But
that's
so
that.
should men, because men also get online. We've seen how, in this case, a Future behaves online
Hmm.
regarding somebody trying to move on from him. Like, I want to cut ties from you. I no longer want to date with you. We're not together no more. I've moved on. And we've
Hmm.
seen how he acts online, even towards some of the other women that he dates. Why
Yeah,
is that okay? Or is it fair for me to say that men should learn how to manage their feelings and emotions better?
yeah. I think men should, but I think as a man, we learn things as far as love and affection and things like that later than women. So we kind of get caught in the mix of learning these things and dealing with different women all at the same time, and then it just all mashes together. So where I just feel like women just gotta slow down, especially in my generation, because it's bad.
Baby,
Like
you
you,
just said you got two kids weeks apart.
yeah. So I'm not excluded from that though, but I learned from it. You gotta
What did
bump
you
your head
learn?
sometimes.
What did you learn, baby cousin?
You gotta have better management. You can't be out here just doing, you know what I mean, what you're doing or what I was doing.
Okay,
You
continue.
just got you gotta kind of live and you learn. But I just feel like women, I just feel like a lot of them, because we kind of speaking on, I'm speaking on Meg right now. We
Okay.
didn't see this woman with, you said you only named like two people, but you know she really been with like 10 people
It's
that
not
we
it's
know
not
of.
it's not 10 confirmed people. I could tell you, like I said, I named that. Then she never publicly acknowledged the soccer player. Like, we just happened to see that one photo of them at going into a wedding together. That's it. That's one
Okay,
photo. That doesn't
so
mean
but like, let's be real here. Ain't nobody going to a wedding with somebody that they ain't really dealing with like that. Not where
I
we from.
have.
You
I
have?
have. Yeah.
Why?
I love wedding cake. Free booze.
See what I'm saying? The amount of a
Wedding cake.
woman
And we
you would
haven't,
go
but
you would
see,
go
here's
out publicly with somebody just because you wanted to go to a wedding, so you needed a
because I
guest, so
wanted
you
the
gonna
wedding
take
cake.
him with
Yeah.
you.
But here's
No,
the
I'm
thing.
gonna just
Here's the thing. I'll say this. I don't spend time with people And that's even in friendship that I don't really have like that connection with. Like I'm very firm on that, and I've
Have
always
you
been.
always been like that?
Yeah, I'm always. I'm. I say this often. I'm an Aquarius. I'm really weird. I'm very. And you move funny. I'm saying what the fuck it is, and I'm moving on with my life. I'm very. Listen. Do you listen? Oh, I'll give you a prime example. I'll give you, and I'll bring this home to family.
Uh huh.
Your daddy been on the block list. Your
I heard.
uncle been on the block list.
Uh huh.
There's other people I don't even I don't know them. I don't know them. I
Hmm.
got asked about somebody and I thought they was talking about a cousin out here,
Uh huh.
like that, because the girl that I met at a restaurant was from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And when she said the name, I was like, why your young ass hanging out with, but with his old ass? And I was like, oh shit, she not. And I said, oh, I don't know her. And she only knew because of my last name. Like
Right.
we
Put
have a
together.
very
We got
uncommon
unique.
last name,
Hmm.
which is fire, by the way. But um, yeah, I don't. I'm very hard on my boundaries, who I spend time with, and certain things I have like learned lessons. And for real, why your daddy ended up on the block list?
Yeah.
It's
What he do?
something weird, and I just was like, what? And so, but at least we had the conversation, and I was like, you kind of weird right now, and I
Yeah.
was shocked.
Uh huh.
It shocked me a little bit, but in
You
that,
were
like,
shocked by his stance on something?
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it wasn't really, and it's not that it was like political. It was just interesting, and I was,
was it Facebook?
yeah.
Yeah.
We
He
got another cousin. I don't even do you. I don't think you know. We have another cousin. This guy
the one
named
that tags us all and 99 others.
Is that Ronald, or are you talking about one of them shepherds?
No. Well, I know who you talking about, but the other, it's a he got our last name. The one I'm talking about, I can't think of his first name right now, but he used to tag me and 98 others, and I used to always have to untag my fucking self. And it was some like political type shit.
Oh, see, I don't
Maybe
know.
you didn't get that. Maybe you avoided that. I don't know.
See, and that's the thing. It's like certain people you don't have. I just don't have. I don't allow people access to me like that.
Hmm.
And so I think in that, and I would say for real, it was implemented more as an adult, like moving away and seeing like different stuff, but also allowing that to like understanding who you are as a person,
Hmm.
and everybody does not deserve VIP access. You can come to the show,
Yeah, but
but
I get that. But
yeah, you
see,
know what I mean? And
you
I
said
think that's
you're
something you
like
should.
that, but a lot of these women are not. So it's like you'll be going to bat for women that you feel are moving in the way that you actually moving, and they ain't moving like that. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of puts you in a tough situation because you might be looking at it from your perspective, and you know what you standing on, and you feel as though sometimes like that's why they say that you don't want to meet your idols. And not saying that you idolize these women, but just people that you might be a fan of, you might be a fan of their music. This is the reason that they say that, because sometimes when you meet people, and I've had this happen to me, I meet people that I might admire in a certain way or watch their content or whatever the case may be. And when I meet them, it's like, ah, man, he ain't even what the
We
fuck I
name
thought he
drop
was.
here.
Huh?
We name drop here.
I mean, the one person that I can think of, but I'm still like it didn't do me over in a way to where I feel like I don't fuck with it no more. But Wallow and Gilly, $1 million worth of game.
He got crazy eyes, cousin.
So what you saying? You seen it already?
Yeah, I was like, I feel like he got crazy eyes. Like it's just something like in his, you know what I
But
mean?
I'm gonna give him the
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt though, because I met him on a day where we was at the podcast festival. Not this year's, but we went 4 times, and it was a lot going on. So he might have done talked to a million people,
Overwhelmed, yeah.
might be overwhelmed. So I gave it a pass. I basically gave it a pass. Like so, but that's just
Okay.
an example of something like, damn, I finally met somebody I wanted to meet, and it just didn't hit how I thought it was gonna hit. But the same day I met Gilly, and Gilly gave the reaction that in my head I felt like he would give. You feel what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it was like two different interactions with two
Yeah.
people that are integrated that I can say I admire them. Like I love their show, I love what they do and stuff like that. So it's just
Okay.
like sometimes so I'm switching that to say like the women situation where you might go on and you might be defending certain women, but it's just like it's hard to do that when you never met somebody.
I would say this. I think so. You are absolutely correct because it's like public facing persona, uh, where I've said something and it warrants some sort of reaction. Somebody sends me a message, whatever. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's one of the things where people have to realize like these people also have like personal lives,
Mm-hmm.
and so we're meeting. So even in this, like I'm interviewing this persona of you. I know who you are
Mm-hmm.
as a person, and it's the same thing here. So we're like sort of representatives, though there are pieces of us that are our true authentic selves here.
Exactly.
I would say in the case of I would say a lot of women in general, I think the issue is I think people have, I would say certain men, not all men, and
Mm-hmm.
certain women, not all women, because there are a lot of women that are male centered.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they have an issue with women being liberated, being sexually liberated, sexually free, being outspoken, not docile, fun, outgoing, um just simply for just for being them, like
Yeah.
or like I said, like the person that they present to us.
Uh-huh.
But also in that, that does not mean that this person is not worthy of or deserving of love or monogamy, whatever their standards are for a relationship. Now hear me
Mm-hmm.
out. Do I agree with how, in this case it would be Meg, put a statement out? I wanted him to be monogamous. We had this house, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you why, and it has nothing to do with I'm like, bitch, you an Aquarius. So first of all, we don't move like that.
Yeah.
We cut different. We move different. So why you putting it out there? But I also understand like the need for people who live in this day and age. Everything is so driven
Mm-hmm.
by the media and wanting a response and wanting people in your corner. So whatever.
Oh, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm so glad you said that though. Because that's part of the issue that I feel like is the problem with men and women. Is like you said, it's this constant battle. And I feel like there are a lot of women and men also, but on the women perspective, if I'm looking at it, I feel like a lot of women base what they want out of life based on social media. I don't think that this is like based on, it used to be you kind of look at life based on the way you was raised, what you saw, the morals and principles that your parents or whoever that raised you gave you. Now people literally open up their phone and get on Instagram and be like, "Oh, I want a ring like that because Moneybag Yo bought Ari a big ass ring. Now you just want a big ass ring." But really, you grew up once always saying that, you just wanted to go to the courthouse and get married and then go have a big party with your family or whatever. Like people's minds have changed based on social media, on what they want. But they're doing it in a way that we're like I said, we don't know these people. So we're looking at a relationship that we'll say, "Oh, I want my relationship like that." But you don't really know what these people got going on. And in reality, we talk about celebrities. I think a lot of that shit be just kind of for the likes, clicks, and views anyway. They just having fun.
That's fair to say. I would say there are. I would say sometimes men are often like that too, just because of like the day and age. That like I feel like it's a lot of people like that. I think that goes
Mm-hmm.
for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because you listen to certain songs, certain rappers, they got this, you want that, or whatever. Your girl gotta look like this, you gotta look like that. So I gotta get it however. And there'd be a lot of people I didn't even know was rappers and they done kill somebody because of somebody says something. And I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Who is Lil Scooter? Who is it? But what's happening? But I think about it through this lens. So you said not to necessarily like to compare ourselves to them, and we talk about upbringing. You and
Hmm.
I had we were raised with sense.
Right.
You know, you had a present father, I have a present father, present mother, same thing, family around. You had a
Hmm.
close relationship with your grandfather. The same thing goes for me. We used to live above my granddad. And then my granddad, in his final like year, couple few years of life, he lived with us, died in our house.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think part of it is influence, but also for sure, a lot of it is um uh I think that people seek just that outside validation so much because
Hmm.
like their foundations are unstable, like
Yeah.
they on sink and stand, and so you gravitate, you need this to drive you in. And I think why people were kind of upset about the whole Clay thing, and I'm not like, first of all, I watch basketball, I
Right.
you know, but
But
I
you
was
see how they try to do it though? Like they try to act like
and
Clay
I went with that. I went with that because I was like, wait a second, are we gonna play Clay like this?
Splash Brothers.
I'm like,
Like
because Clay, it has like three championships. It was it four?
one of the
You know,
greatest all-time shooters in NBA
yeah. So
history. Like
I'm not gonna do Clay like that. Now, saying he looked like the PBS sign, hilarious. PBS getting involved, absolutely iconic.
that's
But
crazy.
I will say this. I was saying my problem with her putting that message out there is, as a person that you know who she is, and you have your partner who's also an Aquarius, y'all, we be tussling with our sign. And I know y'all probably gonna mess around again on the low. Y'all gonna mess around again. It's not over. And there are moments where it is a hard no. I have done that with like many men, but I'm going to say that they're probably gonna kick it a little more before this is finally done.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, for you to say that, and now you got us in the business. So now we want to know the update, but then it's like but also you want privacy, but you put us in your business.
Yeah.
That's
And
my
I
problem.
can't give you the update because I'm gonna look crazy. That's why she, like you said, she should have just never did that.
You
Whatever
shouldn't
they
have
had
said
going
nothing.
on, she should have let it ride, let it blow over. But she probably just, I mean, her
Her feelings are
reaction.
hurt, and rightfully so. But also, but here's my take. I think because Clay is older, Clay is probably like close to my it's close to my age. I'm 38.
uh,
No, I'm not. I had a birthday. I'm 39.
See, that's that. Even that about women though, y'all will stay her age for like 5 years.
Yeah, no, I know. I literally, it's so easy to just be like, oh yeah, I'm 38, but then I had a birthday. So yeah, it's weird. Still saying that, and I'm blessed. Thank you, God. Uh, but I would say that he's an older basketball player, nearing retirement.
Very rich too,
Very, yes, very. He not
wealthy.
rich. He wealthy.
Yeah, wealthy.
That's
I'm sorry.
wealth.
Yeah.
Lord, I've seen what you've done for others. But if in that, she's probably thinking, okay, he's older, nearing the end of his career.
Hmm.
He probably not outside like that anymore.
Yeah.
But walk with me.
Yeah, I'm walking.
So he this seems safe. This is okay. And then, you know, for some people, introducing people to their family and creating relationships is not a big deal to them. For some people, that's something that's kind of sacred, right?
Hmm.
And so she probably, at least the illusion, what we saw was that he created this safe space for her, which is
Hmm.
something she had not experienced
Yeah.
for real, maybe ever.
Yeah.
And so he's a nice guy.
Uh-huh.
For
She,
us
she
that
got
know
food because he light
Clay,
skinned.
what'd you say?
I said she got food because he light skinned, but
I don't think it's that. I think it's just that Clay, think about it. Clay Thompson is never in the center of controversy. It's never really no drama. But if you know Clay, we know his we know his track record.
hmm
You know, he does date beautiful women. You know, Laura Harrier. I remember when that was a thing, and I was like, oh, they not together no more. Damn, that was quick. He cheated on her. Coco Jones was real low key. You
When
cheated
you,
on her. And then even when he got with Meg, when they went public, the last girl that he was dating
yeah,
called him out on his shenanigans. So this is known to some people.
but when
They're just
you,
people that are new here.
but when you worth, I don't even want to,
$130 million.
yeah, to 130, 200 million plus, is it really cheating?
I would okay, here's my
Why
I
would a
think
woman, hold on, let me ask this first.
okay.
Why would a woman, even in Meg's stature, because obviously Meg is, pretty well off herself. She's had a great career herself.
Hmm.
Why would any woman though be with a man that's worth that much money and really, I think it's psycho to believe to think that you're the only one in any capacity.
I will
And
put
the fact that she's saying like, oh, he took me around the family, like that man's an NBA player, like they all take their work around their people. Like if I gotta go, I only got 2 days to go to my mama house. You with me for them 2 days? We gonna go by my mama house.
okay. I'll
Mama know
put
the situation already.
so here's the thing. My thing is transparency. So I think people need to be honest as a person that has dated men in those areas. I would say you have to have an honest conversation with whomever you're dating.
Hmm.
And I think if men are more upfront about what they own,
Uh,
they would women would be more receptive to have better management of
uh,
the and autonomy of their body and what everything is going on.
right.
Um, but I think there's a fear for some men in not being honest and telling the truth. So if he's saying to me that, okay, I don't think I could be monogamous. Okay, so let's talk about that. What does that look like? Because at the beginning of our relationship, this is what you said to me. This is what we promised, what you promised to me. So how come you didn't have that conversation with me in the beginning? So then that allowed me to move a certain type of way and even potentially be on the same thing that you on. Because now you're talking about being open, open or poly. Those are two different things, right? Which we get into on the upcoming first season of Stone Cold Freaks.
We gonna be talking about shit.
Yeah, we interview a couple that is poly, and so we discuss what the difference is and all this different stuff. But I think that it's you all right over there.
Wrong bite.
All right. Well, it starts with honesty. I don't know if that made you react a certain way. It seemed like was a little allergic to that word. So I was making sure you was good.
I'm all right.
All right. I'm mute your mic since you still coughing. So, um, I would say that is what that requires because, like you said, if you think that that's crazy, somebody else might not think that that's crazy and can live a life of being monogamous with somebody. But I think it's a lot of people out here that have understandings and where you know NDAs are involved, where stuff cannot come to their front door.
So, what about when you are honest with a woman, right? But I feel like a lot of them they still think in their mind that they can change you at some point. Like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but let me
That's
go ahead and do this and do that. Let me show him what I'm capable of in the hopes that I can, persuade him to do other things.
my response to that is don't get your hopes up. I would say to somebody, have fun, enjoy the ride for what it is.
But how long you
But
do that?
that's up to that person. How long they want to kick it with somebody. I would say, but that would be a situation which I mean people should do in relationships anyway. They should do check-ins. But I would say that you have to know that there's this huge possibility that this person won't budge. I've been in situations where it's supposed to be one thing and you know the man has said oh, I know said this, but I'm getting to know you and I feel something different and I want to potentially explore it. And I've been the person that's like, you know what I mean? But I think that's people having to be because this is a moment in time. I'll be putting my nigga on ice and I want to be able to move freely
Mhm.
and not have a guilty conscience. And people also should just break up with people and say, hey, I just need a moment. I want to, but that requires a lot. I'm a little crazy, okay? And I'm okay with that. But I would say that if there's somebody's telling you that and they could be doing certain things that okay make it seem like it's different, you need to do a check-in and see what they own, because that's the only in that check-in you have to be honest though.
So how does a check-in come about? Like, what are the questions around that?
Hey, so I know, you said that you didn't necessarily want a relationship or want to be monogamous, but we're spending more and more time together, and it's feeling a little different. I'm just trying to touch base, test the waters to see what's going on to make sure we're on the same page. Is this still friends with benefits, the situationship, or are we moving towards something else? And that based on that answer is how you need to proceed. Sometimes it's not always the answer that you want. And I would say, any man or woman that could, might not get the response that they want, and you are like, I don't want to continue to stay here and waste time, you have every right to exit. You and yes, will your feelings be hurt? Will you be heartbroken? Possibly, absolutely. But you are protecting yourself. You're saving yourself from a lot of time being wasted and energy spent with somebody that's not trying to kick it with you like that.
I think a lot of people though are in situations where they two ways. They want to be with the person, but they know it ain't really working out, but they don't want to see that person with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll stay in it for shit forever or however long that they possibly can until either A, they go crazy, or B, something drastic happens to where they, you know what I'm saying, they're forced to be apart,
Yeah,
if that makes
that's
sense.
true. I
Because I see
think,
that a lot.
yeah, and men do that a lot to women. Men do that a lot to women, and because we talk
How
about
can you put that on men though?
huh?
How can you
No,
just put
because
that
I
on
think
men?
I think sometimes men don't want to be the bad guy.
But when we are the bad guy, then it's like the whole world knows about it because she just put everything on social media. Look how he treats me, and look at the stuff he says to
I
me.
think a lot of it is it goes back to wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard that I spoke to earlier.
Mhm.
And I think that depends on I think that kind of depends on the person too. Um, but I would say that a lot of times men don't want to be the bad guy, so they would stay in a spot longer. Because every woman isn't gonna go online. That's the thing, But I would say that that's why, when you have those conversations, oh, he was with so and so for 8 years, and they broke up, and then he was married in a year to so and so, but it took the woman to be like, okay, you know what, I'm done. And
Yeah.
it's not that he hated her, or sometimes, or sometimes it's not that he hated her. Sometimes men do hate women and women hate men, whatever. So I'm
Uh-huh.
not putting it all on men. But I think that that's really the answer. Sometimes it's like you said, they don't want it's a possessive thing, but also men don't want to be the bad guy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've actually personally been in a situation like that before. Like not my current situation, but I've been in a situation before where, in my mind, it's over with. I'm just waiting on the day that she walk out
But why
because
not?
whatever.
But why not just end it?
I mean, just because. I mean, to be honest, me personally, I can't speak for everybody else. I just didn't really know how. Didn't know how to bring it up, how to say what I was feeling, um, how to do it without, because I wanted to do it in a non-confrontational way. I didn't want it to be like, just kicking a motherfucker out on the street type of thing.
Right.
Because we was living together, so
Okay.
that was a tough thing to me. Like I feel like it's super easy to break up with somebody if y'all are living separate. You know what I mean? But it's like when you got to come home and you live with this person, it's just like you feel like you're putting them out, and I didn't want to, make it that type of situation. But eventually, it just fell apart naturally.
I mean, uh, I mean that is. I would say yes, that is tough. But it could have been something like, "Hey, like, I'm gonna go to my daddy house for a couple days."
Uh-huh.
My mama house, because
Yeah.
I don't think this is no longer working, and I know you feel that too. It's
Hmm.
like being able to make it a we thing versus
Yeah.
you. I That is just always. I felt like I felt that you could prevent where it becomes uh
Confrontation.
confrontational. And
Hmm.
I think when people think about confrontation as a whole, like it doesn't have to be this big old blowout. It is just,
Yeah, they got to be physical or nothing
yeah,
like
it don't
that.
have to be physical. It don't have to You don't have to argue. It don't have to be belt to ass, nothing like that. It could just literally be us having this conversation that
Hmm.
we really need to have. So let me ask you this. In that case, how long did you stay in this relationship that you wanted out of? How much longer?
How much longer, like past the time where I knew it was over?
Yeah.
If I had to guess, probably it was like another 6 months.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like no
I thought you was
years.
gonna say
No.
6 years. I was like,
Oh no, no. Mm-mm. No, it was like, yeah, it was like 6 months, and then it came
okay,
to a point in time where she figured it out. You know what I mean? I think she, like you said, you both know, like when you're adults, like you can feel the energy,
yeah,
and it just came to the point where like, yeah, I think I'm gonna head out type of thing, and it just came
yeah.
to that point. But we got a kid now, so
Oh, okay.
that's one of the, yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
shows how much I,
it ended, but not really.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah. All right. So, as you wind it down, so like I said, I've known this child his entire life, and I just can't believe you were so grown with
yeah,
children. Still funny. I remember Terry had you like in the kitchen, and you like jumped down off the counter, and then you
uh,
just screamed because you scared yourself, but it
yeah.
wasn't that big of a drop. You was just a little baby. And I have like pictures of you like with your little suit and your jacket. So
Hmm.
I would say, as I am developing this newfound relationship with you, as adults, we have had a fun moment recently
Hmm.
where at our uncle's funeral,
Yeah.
where it's all this weird, wild stuff happening, and you like, who is that? And we at the
Yeah.
repast, y'all, our other big cousin, she's sitting across from us now, mind you. At the funeral, she is talking about herself. She got up and spoke about herself. We thought she was gonna bring it home and say something about, oh, take care of yourself. Your health is so important.
No.
Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that never came.
Mm-mm.
So y'all, we at the repast, and Josh is sitting there, and he is like, "Yeah, who was that woman? Blah 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 blah. Up her crazy, da da da." And she's sitting across from him, and he does not care, and he is talking mad shit.
I kind of got that bad a little bit. I've started to realize that, like, I just, if I need to know something at the moment, I don't even really sometimes read the room. I just ask, and then it'll be like, once I didn't already said it though, it's like I ain't gonna. I mean, it is what it is at that point.
Really, I love that you are. It's an awareness that you have about yourself. Like I could
Yeah,
do
I've
better
started
at
to
reading.
realize it recently because we had that instance, and there was another instance where I was at at an event, and somebody asked me about somebody, and I just gave my honest opinion, and the person ended up been standing right there, and somebody was like, "Man, you know, you're standing right there," and just like, well, shit, if he heard me, then now he know how I feel about him. Like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if he want to have a conversation about it, we can. But it's not. I'm not gonna.
He's not gonna have that conversation because that's how I am. I'm like, okay, well now
Yeah.
we confronting it and this is what it is. So now do you want to talk about it? No, you
And
don't.
most of the time they don't.
They don't.
Yeah. So
That's
I don't know.
funny. So okay, so your grandma is my aunt,
Hmm.
and I would say I get some of my whimsy from her
Yeah.
for sure. I will say that because uh get her on the phone, and we would she gonna talk your ear off,
I was just
but
about to say, if you get on the phone with her, you might as well like block off like 2 3 hours of
it's
time.
true.
It's gonna go.
It's true. But I will say that I think the other reason why I relate is that your grandmother has a love and a passion for fashion,
Yeah.
buying different stuff. Oh, I got you these boots. She bought me some boots, and I was like, "You showed me a picture that I told you I ain't want them. So why you bringing? Why you think it's gonna change my mind in person? Like you needed
Yeah.
to put eyes on them." I'm like,
She
"Okay,
gonna make
girl."
you put them on and be like, see.
And I'm like, see, I don't like these.
Hmm.
But I will say that I do love that she always reaches out. Oh, I saw this, I thought of you. Or I said, I don't like
Hmm.
that. And I was like, you know what? It's a skirt that I really want. Can you give me that?
Yeah.
Like things like that. And it's just
Mhm.
so funny because I think that like she is the sweetest woman probably that I know.
Hmm.
And just has a love for everybody and understanding. But baby, I think I found out that she with the shit.
She crazy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I found this out in the last like few years, and I was like, oh, word, like
Hmm.
you get down like that, and it made me proud because I always felt like people try to take advantage of Aiden and
Yeah.
don't listen to her, and I'm like,
Hmm.
but then I found out that she with it, and I'm like, oh, all right, okay,
Yeah. She's
so
standing on something. She's standing on something. Like
yeah,
that's
she's
just what
and
it
I
is.
like that.
And I feel like, and I feel like I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Obviously, we ain't got to get too deep into that, but she's one of them people, and I ain't even just saying this because it's my granny, but she one of the people. Like if she raised her voice at you, you dead wrong. I don't even have to ask what you did. I know you wrong. If she's
Yep,
raised, if she feels some type of way about you that way in an aggressive manner, you wrong. Like I don't
yep.
even need to hear the story on what happened. I know that you wrong
X
because
abs
she don't have that in her heart.
She does it, and she does it, and I get so mad. I said something. I said, "Hey, can Pumpkin help you?" That's his uncle and my cousin. And I said, she's like, he he don't want to come and help me or something. I said, I text Terry so fast. I said, give me Pumpkin number.
Yeah,
I was like, cause he can get cussed the fuck out too.
yeah, yeah. But I have a lot of long conversations with her, and it's like
Hmm.
one thing I feel like I've learned from her, and just in like one thing is she's always taught you to just always be prepared. Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like even now to this day, I'm a grown man. I got my own house, everything like that. And the things that she buys you shows you how much she cares. Like she bought
Yeah.
me, it's like a light that you plug it in the wall and you charge it. But once you charge it, it lasts for like 7 days.
Okay.
She like, yeah, make sure you have this just in case your power ever go out and you ain't got no generator. You know, you'll have some light to walk around and see what you know what I'm saying. She
Yeah.
thinks of small things like that,
Yeah.
but it's based on your well being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even with me, I'm pushing 30 now. And every time she calls, you need this, you need that. And then now with me having kids, asking what they need and everything like that. When it's just really,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the position where I can just give her everything she needs. You know what I mean?
Right.
But she's still nurturing.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that's so important. I think the last time I saw your grandmother, my aunt, before like Uncle Wayne passed, I feel like it might have been when I went to Sharon's house. I went and pulled up on Sharon, my sister and I, and she
Hmm.
was bringing Sharon some food, and then
Yeah.
she went off on Chrissy. Talk about uh and I made this for Sharon. So don't, I know you ate all the food last time. So don't be eating, all this stuff that I made for Sharon. This is for
Yeah.
her, not you. You get your own, and knowing that, she would go out of her way for anybody. I think
Hmm.
that's the coolest, like most loving thing about her. Like you said, like just making sure people are good. And, I think I have memories like coming to her house in the summer
Yeah.
and all of this stuff, and her having this garden and all of that. It's just like little
Fine.
little things, that you
Hmm.
remember about people. But it's just also, like you said, just being kind. Like people just are genuinely not like that anymore.
Hmm.
And it's like when you talk to Aiden, it's like this you get off the phone, you don't feel heavy, you feel light.
Hmm.
And just I just love her so much.
Yeah.
I just love her so much.
Like she a blessing for sure.
Yeah, and it's like, you're fortunate to still, have your grandmother around, like as a kid that has like no living grandparents. It's definitely just, like it's a treasure to have. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you do cherish her. Uh Even though sometimes her kids can be crazy.
They crazy, but I'm riding with them.
Yeah, you know what? I really do. I really do love your daddy so much.
Yeah.
Because like I said, great memories breaking into his room playing video games.
Hmm.
And I know y'all was in here. It was so easy to pick his lock.
Yeah. And then he gonna know you gonna do it again. He just gonna set you up for it.
And then you trying to remember where you put something, and then our dumbass is saving the game.
Yeah. He know
Well,
he wasn't on that part.
he was not on that part. So yeah, I would just say that it's just, oh my god, like I'm just so happy that you are a part of my life, and it's a joy watching you grow and build your platform, because you out here having different businesses. You have a lemonade business. He don't have a lemonade stand. He actually has a company that is
Yeah, I got my own beverage. Yeah.
and along with like even Mal, like watching Mal like grow up and
Hmm.
everything that she's experienced, and telling her story with people about her cancer diagnosis. So it's just really dope being connected to people like
Yeah.
me. I would
Yeah.
say that y'all are extensions of me, though
Hmm.
I didn't have y'all, so that's fun.
Yeah. And I've been. I. It's funny because Um, I met a few people just out doing my logistics business that actually know you from the St. Louis area.
Who know
And
me?
you said what?
I said, who know me? No,
I
I'm just
can't
playing.
even think of my man's name right now. I'm drawing a blank. He work. He's a higher up at Home Depot with Bear Paint. He was just on one of y'all shows. He got the dreads, wife and kids from St. Louis. I can't.
You talking about Daryl?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what
No, I
company.
think I.
No, that's not Daryl, because Daryl.
No.
Oh, I know who you. Oh, wait, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I just met him that day.
No, that ain't who I'm talking about. There. He knows you,
Okay,
but I can't think of his fucking name. Hold on.
okay, it's okay. You can
He
tell
gonna be
me
mad
later.
if he see this. uh, I don't know. We'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm like wife and kids. I'm like all I could think of is Daryl, but I was like Daryl doesn't work for Home Depot
No, it
like
ain't.
corporate.
Will.
Oh, Focus. Yeah, yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Archibald. Yeah, what's funny is this is how
that's my
small
guy. I don't know why I could think his name.
I love. His sister Risha is a producer. She works with Cedric a lot, and
Okay.
so writer producer. She's amazing, and their dad is like Aunt Margie's husband, Craig.
Uh huh.
Like they grew up together. They're like really great friends. And so
Okay.
when I went to Margie's house, Craig showed me all these pictures, and I sent them to him. I was like, y'all, we like cousins. Like
Yeah.
that's what it is. So we're connected even like that. That's how small the world is. That is
Yeah.
so crazy.
And because he seemed like you said, we got a unique last name, and when he was putting in, a lot of the transport orders for Bear Paint going to construction sites and stuff, I ended up always being the one to come and get him. So now he, we got familiar with each other where he got my
Right.
phone number, so he'll let me know ahead of time. Hey, Wednesday I need this, and then he looked at my last name. He said, "Wait a minute, you gotta know Dominique." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my cousin." I was like, my grandma and her dad, they siblings type thing. And we sat there for 20 minutes just talking about it. And I ran into
Oh,
him recently because he didn't, moved up in the company. So now he going different regions and stuff like
yeah.
that. And so, and then I was looking at your stuff a couple days ago and seeing you just said his name, Focus. And I'm
Yeah.
now, next time I see him, I'm going to get on his ass because he didn't let me know that he do no type of content. Out of all these conversations we had, I didn't know none of this. So it's just like another avenue I can connect with him on.
Yeah, no, that's I I used to be outside back in the day,
Uh huh.
going to the parties and stuff that they used to all throw. But yeah, we have that's one of my really, really great friends. And it's funny because I always tell this story about how I was ultimately supposed to be connected to his sister
Hmm.
without meeting her. And this is when Obama's like first inauguration. So everybody's in DC,
Hmm.
and I'm signing my name in the guest book at the Smithsonian, the History Museum, and Risha Archibald name is like right there above. Like as I'm signing, I
Uh
was
huh.
like Risha Archibald. I was like, I know that name. I know that name. I
Yeah.
think that's Focus sister. And then I moved to LA. I told Focus about it. I was like, this is so crazy. I was like, I don't, but didn't know his sister.
Hmm.
Moved to LA, go to church, uh like they were having like these modules or whatever on like a Tuesday night, and they said something about introduce yourself to somebody, and she said, hi, my name is Risha. I was like, Archibald.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah. I was like, your brother is like one of my really good friends. And I was like, and I
Yeah.
told her that story. I said, girl, I'm supposed to know you, we supposed to be connected. So
Yeah.
yeah, I love her so, so much. I love her. I love both of them, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't met the sister, but I had a lot of conversations with him. Real good dude.
Yeah, I can't wait to hit him up after this.
Yeah, you gotta and then tell him he ain't tell me nothing about no content. Like the name Focus, I was not hip to that till the other day when I seen it on the screen when I was looking at y'all's recording that
Yeah.
the clip that was posted. So
Oh
and I'm
my
like, man, that's my guy right there. Like that's just not something I thought I would see him doing just because I just met him in a work environment. So you never know
yeah,
what you do outside of that. So
that is funny.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate you so much for taking the time to come on to my show and rap with me. And hopefully one day you'll have me as a guest on your show. Maybe I'll
oh
be
yeah,
talking
got
about
you.
another movie that I'm in. I'm going to acting class tonight. So, I could
And
tell y'all.
so I was about to ask about that. I was waiting for you to bring that up.
Okay.
When did this like? I never knew that the movie thing was.
I did that movie 2 years ago. And it made its rounds and won awards on the festival circuit.
Uh,
And then I didn't know that Cotty was, looking to for distribution or anything like that.
uh,
I just got a text and she said, hey, can you promote the movie? It's on Amazon Prime.
mhm.
And I was like, oh, okay. So
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah, so it was really cool to see myself on the screen like that. And I worked on another project with her actually like around February. And later last year, I did a workshop. Airbnb has these different workshops and experiences. And so I did one with her and Bentley Evans. And Bentley Evans is responsible for, as a executive producer, Martin, Jamie Foxx, and a host of other different, Black shows. So it was
Oh,
really
okay.
cool to work with him. And then I worked with him on the project in February. So yeah, it was really dope. So it just and all how that even happened. My homegirl was like, oh, Cotty needs an extra or something. So I'm thinking it's just background work,
Yeah,
nothing. And Cotty sent me the script. I was like, oh, I'm actually in this.
yeah. It's
So
a little more
it
than
was
that.
it was yeah, it was cool. So I held it down, and she gave me different notes and whatnot. So
Mhm. Were
it
you
was.
already in acting classes before that, or did you start after that?
Actually, I took acting in high school and then
Okay.
in college. I originally wanted to be a double major. I wanted to do, acting and broadcasting, but at Webster, their theater program is so rigorous, you had to pick and choose. So I
Okay.
picked broadcasting. But
Oh, okay.
so I always had a knack for it. Coming to California, I wanted to do, get into entertainment journalism and hope that it could segue into other projects. Like I always admire Lala being able to go from, broadcasting and into acting and doing things like
Hmm.
that. So it's really dope kind of seeing it all come together. I just need the pocketbook to match. That's all.
For sure. Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. Content is in a good space right now. I feel like there's so many
Yeah.
different opportunities, like you said, from movies to what we're doing right now. You got vlogging, you got streaming. I've been thinking about getting into the streaming. I just I ain't figured out the details of it yet, like what'll work for me. Because what I realized with the streamers, the ones that's like really getting to it, they streaming all day, and I don't
Yeah.
think I got the capacity right now to just like
Yeah.
somebody following me around and doing that shit all day.
It's definitely an all day thing. I would say it will be one of those things where even I helping other, podcasters and creators,
Hmm.
um, they don't even like they want to get into it, but they have so many other projects going on that it's really hard for them to even do it.
Yeah.
So well, we're gonna wrap it up here, and we're gonna continue this. It got to be a part two. Maybe bring Nelly in, maybe bring your daddy in, and
For
have
sure.
just wrap it up. And catching up
I'm
with
down.
everybody for real. Because I do love y'all, and I do
Love you
want y'all
too.
to know that. Because like life is short,
Hmm.
and we don't say that to each other enough. But I am proud of you, and I look forward to seeing where you go from here. Tell everybody where they can find your podcast.
So you can find our podcast on everything except for title. On YouTube, subscribe to the Reason Adult Network. We're on Instagram, Reason Adult Podcast, and like I said, we're on Apple Podcasts, everything else where you can find your podcast at YouTube, Reason Adult Network. Add us on Instagram, Reason Adult Podcast. And we just building, man. We just left the fourth annual Black Effect Podcast Festival, and that was a great time. That was the best time we've had so far. Every year, kind of been building up. But this year we got to be backstage. Actually I got to have a conversation with Charlemagne. Got had a
Okay.
conversation with a bunch of other creators. Shout out to Deontay Kyle for the Grits and Eggs podcast. Man, he showed us a lot of love. He was part of the reason why we even got backstage. And that was just somebody that Jay Sales had been connected to through Instagram. We had never met him in person, but it was like one of those things, like you seen your long lost cousin when we walked up on him, and he made that a great weekend for us and things like that. So hopefully we got something coming with Black Effect. We're still trying to figure that out. I think they should have us on stage next year at the festival, but that's just this manifestation. But yeah, Reason to Doubt, man. That's the movement. That's the alternate logo you see behind me. The Doubted. It's pretty much like us and our supporters. That's just kind of our slogan. We are the Doubted. You know what I mean? So anybody that ever felt doubted, anybody that ever feels like people didn't want to see them make it, you know what I mean? You are the Doubted, and so come join the family.
Yes. Well, from your lips to God ears, that y'all will be on that stage next year. Everybody, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everybody that you know, even the ones that you hate. We will see y'all back here next week.